welcome to the first in a monthly Fextralife series highlighting the top 5 upcoming RPGs for the next month. In our first entry, we're going to take a look at what we think are the best RPGs releasing in the month of February and talk a little about each and why we think so highly of them. Hop in and let's discover some new games you haven't heard of or learn a little more about ones you do know. Our honorable mention for the month is For Honor. Although not technically an RPG, we'd be remiss to not mention Ubisoft's multiplayer hackfest For Honor, which pits 3 different factions, Samurai, Viking, and Knights, against each other in some massive battles against AI and human enemies. The game features a visceral combat system that will make Dark Souls fans feel right at home, and the game's Art of Battle mode will heighten the dueling of champions on the battlefield. A variety of different game modes and battle arenas will keep players tapping in time after time. Coming in at number 5, YS Origin. After being released for PC in Japan only in 2006, YS Origin is finally making its way to the PS4 and the PS Vita on February 21st. Yes, that's right, the Vita is actually getting a game. Hooray! YS Origin is a prequel to the very popular YS series of games, of which there are 7. The games are an action RPG series that follow the adventures of a character named Adol as he travels across the different regions of the world, combating demons and enemies who conspire around the construction of a mysterious tower. Origin is set 700 years before the events of the first game and tells much of the backstory of the world, the tower, and the magic that resulted in the demon's appearance. It is the first game to not feature Adol as the main character. Instead, you will choose from 3 different playable characters who have their own stories, combat styles, and skills. The game features the series' hallmark dungeon crawling action, light story narrative, and wonderful musical score. It's sure to brighten any gloomy winter day. At number 4, Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn is poised to be Sony's next flagship exclusive for the PS4. Developed by Killzone creator Guerrilla Games and releasing on February 28th in North America, Horizon Zero Dawn places you in the shoes of main character Aloy in a world where civilization has crumbled and the Earth has gone native again, with the exception of massive dinosaur-like machines that roam the land like wildlife. In this combat-focused action RPG, you will set out to discover the truth of the events of the world as well as the truth of who Aloy is. Aloy will make use of a variety of weapons and skills to take down and even hack the machines as she engages in quests and hunts for the various tribes that inhabit the land. Ultimately, she must contend with an enemy tribe who means to control the machines for their own world-conquering purposes. From what we've seen of the game so far, the beautiful landscapes and engaging monster battles will be keeping us glued to our screens for hours. At number 3 is Torment Tides of Numenera. Torment Tides of Numenera is one of the more esoteric games to come along in a while. Releasing on February 28th, it is a spiritual successor to 1999's Planescape Torment. The game takes place in the 9th world, Earth 1 billion years into the future. You take on the role of the changing god, an immortal being who has survived the ages and will answer the question, what does one life matter? The game returns gamers back to the classic genre of RPGs and features detailed quests with a ton of branching dialogue. All of your choices and responses have subtle impacts on something called tides, which functions like a morality meter and alters your interactions with NPCs. In combat, you'll choose one of 3 unique classes which feature special abilities that will complement your party members. The game received a resounding crowdfunding response, and fan anticipation has been building steadily over the course of its development right into early access. This is shaping up to be a game you can play for years as you explore all the many different story paths and decisions. At number 2, Nier Automata. Nier Automata is the high-speed sequel to Nier and is developed by Platinum Games, published by Square Enix. It releases February 23rd in Japan and worldwide in March on the PS4. The game follows the adventures of the game's main playable characters, android warriors named 2B, 9S, and the obsolete prototype A2 as they find themselves thrust into the middle of a proxy war between machines and what remains of humanity. The combat is dynamic and fluid, with a variety of weapons, each with unique movesets and their own narrative stories. Support pods accompany the characters and provide combat and traversal assistance. Players can customize their skills via the game's unique plug-in chip system and can gather materials to improve their gear via crafting. A playable demo was released last December and was one of the most enjoyable half hours of gaming we've had in a long time. And our top upcoming RPG for February is Nioh. What can we say about our anticipation for Nioh that we haven't already? This game stole our attention at TGS 2015 and we've been following its development ever since. The Onimusha-flavored action RPG from Ninja Gaiden developer Team Ninja releases on February 7th in North America and on subsequent days worldwide. The game takes the challenging combat mechanics of Ninja Gaiden and merges them with the level design sensibilities of Dark Souls, with shrines replacing bonfires and a death mechanic that tasks you with returning to the site of your fall. That's where the similarities stop though, and the game takes on a life of its own. Players will don the armor of the samurai during a seminal period in Japanese history. You'll methodically cut your way through enemies using your weapons, skills, magic, and ninjutsu, as well as some special guardian spirits who can turn the tide of battle. When you complete a stage, you'll do battle with some serious bosses who are surely going to cause some controller breaking frustrations. Repeatable missions, a Diablo-style loot system, and a unique crafting mechanic all round out what the game has to offer and should give players tons to dig into. Oh, and did we mention the game will feature co-op at launch and a PvP mode that will release as free DLC shortly after launch? Yep, this game has a lot to be excited for. February is going to be an uncommonly packed month for the RPG genre, full of big name releases that each span the various subgenres of the RPG world. Thoughts on the list? Any other RPGs you're looking forward to in February? Let us know what you think. If you like what you saw, leave a like on the video and hit the subscribe button to find out when we drop new content. Happy role-playing, gamers!